As you know now, by now, if you've been following my journal, I somehow managed to delete every piece of video that I had that I'd prepared for this portion of the ride. Long story short, it's gone, cannot be recovered. I even called Apple support. There is no hope. So, at first I wasn't going to do anything, and I decided that I would go ahead and put together just a series of photographs showing this portion of the ride. And this portion of the ride began in Regensburg, Germany, and ended in Bratislava, Slovakia. Overall, it was a mix. It's flat, that's a plus. I had a headwind every day, and extremely unusual. I met a German couple who I've met on and off now for the last 3 or 4 days, and even they said that winds blowing out of the east to the west are completely unusual. Normally it's the other way around, so with good fortune, when I turn around in Budapest, I will have headwinds all the way to France. Anyway, the ride basically follows the Danube River. It is a beautiful ride. I just cannot overemphasize the number of castles that you'll pass along the way. Most of the ride is completely off-road. You are on small paved or crushed gravel roads that parallel the river the entire way. Most of it is either along the dike or above the dike as you ride. Occasionally you'll spot a car out there, but those are cars that have driven to their favorite fishing hole, and there's no vehicular traffic on these trails at all, but for a few fishermen. The infrastructure here is set up so that it serves the cyclists. There are small shops, pastry shops, cafes all along the way. Every 20-30 kilometers you'll come across something in the middle of nowhere just to give you a break. There's benches, there's the basic repair tools and air pumps for bicyclists. There are several ferries that cross back and forth across the river. I just stayed on my planned route according to Komoot, and overall it was great. I did run into one snafu, and it was a Sunday morning, and I had left Passau, Germany, and I had traveled about 15 kilometers, and I was to take a ferry across the river into Austria. And of course the ferry doesn't run on weekends or holidays. And so I rode down the road, the path on the German side for another, say, 15 kilometers, and there was a dam which you could walk across, but it was being repaired and no bicycles were allowed to be walked across that area. So I continued to about 40 kilometers and found a bridge that took me into Austria, and immediately, and I do mean immediately, I began climbing a huge mountain. And I got to the top of it, and I'm looking down several hundred feet to the river valley, and I'm thinking, why am I up here? But it was the route. And once I got to the bottom, I was back on the trail on the river and continued just for a very, very beautiful ride. The portion through Austria, except for the very end, is absolutely stunning. Just like Germany, beautiful ride. Just couldn't ask for better. There are thousands, and I mean thousands of cyclists out here. And on the weekends and holidays, The trail's just flooded with cyclists. It's almost crazy. There's so many. It's a mixture. I've seen families riding. I've seen little kids riding. I've seen the extreme athletes riding at breakneck speeds. It's almost comical because they wear clothing that is all matched attire, and it matches their pedals, and it matches the rims of their wheels. It's almost like a style contest. It's hard to explain, but if you come here and ride this, you'll fully understand and appreciate it. And then there's just the rest, the mob of people that are here, and everybody is friendly. It's amazing. I camped every night between Regensburg and Bratislava, and every morning except for one, my tent would be completely saturated with dew, at least the rain fly. Yet it's amazing. You would open up your door to your tent and open up the rain fly and look outside, and one morning in a campground I was just awarded with just this beautiful sight of wild tulips, and the grass is just dripping in dew, but it was amazing, just beautiful. And you just wait an hour or two for the sun to peek out, and things dry up. You pack up and you just mosey on down the trail. And if there was a lesson to be learned here, it is stop rushing. Take your time. Enjoy the ride. This is something that I will likely only do this one time. And so my plan is to soak it all in as much as possible. Unfortunately, and fortunately at the same time, I planned a couple of days off here in this city while it was raining. And it rained all day yesterday. It's raining again today. Tomorrow it's supposed to clear off. On the upside, the temperatures have also cooled down by a good 20 plus degrees Fahrenheit. They are going to remain cooler for the next week or so. It had been reaching close to the mid-80s at the end of last week. And with the humidity here, it made riding really tough. You wanted to get started early, but you couldn't because the tent would be soaked. But even if you were on the road, say by 9 o'clock in the morning, if you did a good 4 hours, 5 hours of riding, you would get down to your next point. A lot of things here are governed by campsites. I try camping during the week, and I take my days off. I like to spend them in a nice hotel where I can just relax and be a bum. But the rest of the time, it's camping. And since wild camping is prohibited in Germany, Austria, and many European countries, you have to camp at a campground where you take fear of being arrested or fined by the police. So, sometimes you just pull up short because it's a campground, and the next campground wouldn't be for some significant difference away. Anyway, it's been a really good ride. I can't complain. I've had a few rainy days, some sunshine. It's been a mixed bag. I try to look at the weather and plan, but it is what it is. And the plan is to ride around Europe this summer, and one way or another, I'm going to make it happen. I know I have the ultimate backup plan. If all goes wrong, there's trains. And the trains in Europe run all the time. They're dependable, and you can get around just about any place on a train. Unlike Sweden, you can also get your bike on a train. So all in all, it's good. while here in Bratislava, I also went out and bought an external hard drive to store my videos so I don't have another mishap. We'll see how that works out. I want to do a little testing today and see if I can actually download my videos onto the external drive and save them there, and then be able to upload those back into a movie format so that I can later make a YouTube video. We'll have to see how that goes. Once again, if you're still viewing this video, I hope you are. I hope that you will subscribe, like, and share, and simplify. I'll be back in about a week, maybe less. It's 4 days to Budapest, and there, if all goes well, I will put together a real video and get it out to everyone. And hopefully I have learned my lesson and everything comes together. Thank you again for watching, and Semper Fi.